estamos iniciando o QI Cultural desta noite, conversando com o Thomas Connery, que é marido da Ângela. É uma continuação do papo com esse casal que veio viajando por toda a América Central, América do Sul, e parou aqui em Peruíbe, que adorou a nossa cidade e resolveu ficar por aqui por um tempo. Eu não poderia deixar, né, de conversar com eles. How are you, Tom?
I'm very good, thank you.
Thank you because you accepted my invitation.
Well, I'm very happy, yes.
Tom, I'd like that you tell us how was your life before starting this trip there in the United States?
I've had a great life. I was a firefighter, a bombero for 36 years, and it was a very rewarding job, being able to help people. The last 20 years, I was involved with our Burn Foundation, and we work with burned children and burned adults. We have a camp for the burned children, and we have conferences for the adults so that they can be with other burn survivors. So that part of my life was very rewarding. I've always been an outdoors person, skiing, body surfing, boogie boarding, rock climbing, camping, hiking. So I love the beaches, and I love the earth and experiencing the earth. So I'm an adventurer.
I see.
Yes.
Do you think that firemen here in Brazil are the same as in the United States, or didn't you have any chance to meet any?
There is, we have our bomberos in San Jose, and the bomberos are, they have interaction with, I know, with a lot of firefighters in Mexico and throughout Central America. I'm not sure about Brazil, but I'm sure that the Brazilian firefighters have their own groups that they are involved with. So I have met several bomberos here in Brazil, and it's different because they're military. It's the
Yes.
bomberos are all military, whereas in the United States, every city has their own fire department.
They are not military.
They're not military. We have military firefighters, but most of the fire departments are
Civilian.
civilian. Yes.
Well, when you started this trip, whose idea it was? Angela's or yours?
Well, it started out as Angela told me she wanted to take a trip to Ecuador.
Ecuador. Why Ecuador?
I think because it's right there on the equator. It's very warm. It supposedly had a very stable government. You know, you have the Galapagos Islands off the coast there. So that was just one of her thoughts. It was a different country to go to, and she said that she'd like to spend about 6 months in Ecuador. And I said, yeah, that'd be fun, but why not drive and see all the countries on the way down? And that's how it started. I put that little bug in her head, and then we started talking about it. And this was before we were married. And after we got married, we decided that we would look for a motorhome. And in the meantime, we were preparing I retired from the fire department, and then we started remodeling our house so that we could be gone and not worry. And we found a motorhome, and we lived in the motorhome while we had the kitchen and bathroom and everything torn out. Mm-hmm. So we got a little bit used to what it'd be like to live in a motorhome.
And when you thought about buying a motorhome, where did you choose the motorhome? How was it?
Well, we didn't want something big and flashy. We wanted something that looked older and not so conspicuous. We wanted something we thought would be reliable. I would have done a few things differently. I probably would have bought a motorhome that it was a diesel engine and not gasoline. Um, I would have gone through, and we've had problems with our generator, our electric generator. I probably would have gone through and had the generator service before we left. But we really didn't have that much idea about what we were buying.
And you thought about driving the motorhome in different places, places where you have to climb, places that are very small. How did you have an idea?
What I figured, if a truck or a bus can get there, we can. And throughout our trip, wherever the buses go, I figure we can go. We have been in some places that bridges were out in Guatemala, and we had to do a detour and go over pontoon bridges that were just set up. And I know Angela's eyes were bugging out as we're going over these little narrow bridges that are moving around. But that was part of the adventure, you know.
Yes,
I said, hey, you know, that bus went ahead of us, it should be safe.
Did you think about if the motorhome break?
We had the motorhome service before we left, and we had the mechanic go through and fix everything, and we had a bunch of new stuff put on, new brakes, shocks, all the fluids were changed. I brought extra parts, you know, hoses and fan belts, but we didn't think our trip was going to be as many miles as we've already gone. Mm-hmm. And so now we've had to have the brakes redone here. We've gone through a set of brakes. Our generator isn't working properly, so we need to, and that's it. Parts are not available except in the United States. So that's one of our problems.
And how will you deal with that?
Well, one is we ordered, like our refrigerator broke down, we ordered a refrigerator and we're having it shipped here to Santos, and then we'll have to pick it up and install it. As far as the generator, I've been online, I've talked to a mechanic, and I have to order the parts, and then when we go back to the States, I'll bring the parts back with me and we'll put them in.
Do you have knowledge about car mechanics?
I have some basic mechanical knowledge, and that has helped us so far on little minor stuff, but I don't have the tools to fix a big truck, so we have to go we go to a Ford dealership, or we talk to somebody. We refer to a mechanic here in town, and he's doing our brakes for us right now. And on the internet, the generator is a Onan generator, and we went to that company in Rio de Janeiro, and they worked on it, and they had it fixed, and it was working fine, and then all of a sudden it quit again. So I don't know. It's all part of the trip. We're learning as we go, and you just have to be able to be flexible. And okay, we don't have an electrical generator, but maybe we can plug in some things, and you know, we buy different stuff that we need along the way, hose adapters so that we can get water.
Well, that's why it's an adventure.
It's an adventure, yeah. And
if
how to
everything was so perfect, it wouldn't be.
You wouldn't be. I think that makes it, when you have the trials, when you have to think, that makes it more rewarding when you accomplish your goal.
Of course. And which countries have you crossed up to now?
Up to now, we started in California. We went across Nevada and Arizona. In Arizona, we crossed into Mexico in Nogales. And it was interesting, the day we crossed the border into Nogales, the mayor and his bodyguard were assassinated. So everybody was talking about, oh, how dangerous Mexico is. We didn't have one problem throughout Mexico.
Yes, they are killing journalists.
Everything, but yeah. So then we went through the Mexico. We stayed on the western coast of Mexico, along the Pacific, all the way down into Guatemala. Stayed along the coast, and then into El Salvador, beautiful coastline, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, In Panama, we had to ship our motorhome across into Colombia, Cartagena, Colombia, and then we went along the eastern coast of Colombia into Venezuela, and then Venezuela, the coast, and then inland we went across the Grand Sabana and entered Brazil in Pacaraima. And then from Pacaraima we went to Boa Vista and then down to Manaus. And then we got on a barge in Manaus and traveled 5 days down the Amazon to Belém. And then we went from Belém to Fortaleza, Natal, Maceió, or Recife, Maceió, Salvador, Rio de Janeiro. And then, so we went the coast as much as we could. And I can't even think of all the cities and beaches that we spent time at, but Brazil, we're just astounded how gigantic Brazil is, how diverse, and how much water Brazil has.
I used to say that each state in Brazil is a different country because they are different use, different ways of talking. Everything is different from place to place. So different. Brazil is different.
It's beautiful. We are just astounded at the diversity that we've seen in Brazil, and the people are so friendly and very helpful. The language barrier has been a little problem, but not that much, because I mean, when I've wanted to nuts and bolts, I drew them out on a piece of paper and I showed somebody, and then okay, and then I had them write what those words are, so that.
Well, I remember that on the day of your birthday.
Yes.
That Sunday, Tony, your friend Tony, he said he thinks it's so amazing that you are here. You don't speak Portuguese. And you do not ask for help to anybody. You develop everything so well.
Everything is available. It's just being able to find it, and not knowing the right words to ask. When we came into Brazil, we didn't even have a Portuguese dictionary, so we could look a word up. So that would help, or learning how to pronounce the words.
Well, from all those countries, which one was you liked most?
I'm saying Brazil, because of just how diverse Brazil is, and from the coastline, from being at the equator, and then cruising all those beaches and swimming in 90-degree water in Praia de Francis, and it was I did a snorkeling on the reef there and scuba diving there. It was very beautiful. Praia de Forte, which is by Salvador, was beautiful. And then going up into the waterfalls, Foz do Iguaçu, and seeing Itapu Dam, just an amazing engineering feat here. And again, like I said, the most amazing thing is how much water Brazil has.
Yes, fortunately. Well, did you have any difficulties, or did you face any danger during the trip?
Really, just the irritation of our refrigerator breaking down and our generator not working. But we haven't been threatened by anybody. A couple times we've been camping or parked in a place, and the police have come up to us and knocked on our door and said, "You shouldn't be here," and move to another place, and that's it.
So the police, they come to you voluntarily.
Voluntarily, and
they see that you are coming from another country.
Yes.
That you have a motorhome with that plate. They know that you need protection.
Yes, and they've been, they just said this is not a safe place. Maybe you want to move someplace else where there's lights or there's more people around. And both times it's been fantastic. Yeah.
Well, it's really very interesting. In Brazil, which were the cities you visited?
Oh,
do you know all of them? Do you remember?
I couldn't name every city, but So, like Rio de Janeiro, we spent 3 weeks in Rio de Janeiro. We were able to experience part of the carnival.
Oh, you were there in Carnival.
We were there for
What
carnival.
did you think about our Carnival?
It was just amazing the number of costumes and the number of people that are involved in the whole. It's the show, everything, and just you know, we only experienced one night of it, and you know, it was 5 days or something that each night they go from 9 o'clock till 4 in the morning, and it's just astounding. It really was, you know. And
Have you seen something like that anywhere else?
never,
Never.
never, no. It
Yeah.
was quite the pageantry, the costumes, just the excitement of the people that are involved with the whole show. It was very enjoyable.
Yes, there is a joke here in Brazil that Brazilian people lives from Carnival and soccer.
Okay. Well, I could imagine that. You know, I'm not that big of a soccer fan. I don't understand the game that well, but I do understand the excitement of the game, and you know, I'll watch it on TV, but I can't say that I really understand it that well.
They are mad about soccer.
Oh yeah.
Tonight we will have a soccer game. They are. It's so funny. I don't know what to say. Which places in Brazil? I think I have already asked that. Inside the motorhome, when Angela told me that it's not a very big place, you have no room to be both in the same place. When one is cooking, the other must be
Yeah.
in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Who cooks more, you or Angela? Because
Well-
I have eaten your lasagna.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
Thank you. I would say I do more cooking than Angela. Angela has her specialties. She does really great cheese sauces for our pasta. But I kind of like to take over the kitchen. As far as barbecuing, I love barbecuing, and she loves me barbecuing. So she, you know, it's a standing joke when I'm barbecuing. She asks me to make the special potatoes, so we put them in foil and with onions and seasoning, and throw that on the barbecue, and that cooks first. And so, but you know, we take turns. You know, if I don't feel like cooking, then she just jumps in and does whatever. You know, and all the food here in Brazil or throughout the trip it's similar to what we have in the United States, but you know, we just work with it. It's you know.
Your mother will be 90
90.
next July.
July 26th.
And you are going to
No,
the
it's
United
28. I'm sorry, 28.
You'll be flying to the United States.
We're going to fly into Los Angeles, and then we'll spend. We're going on a cruise. The whole family is going on a cruise, the Mexican Riviera, and then we'll fly. Well, we'll drive back to Sacramento with my sister and brother-in-law, and then visit family up there. My daughter up in Northern California. And then we'll go back to San Jose where we live, and from there we'll take care of stuff that we need for here.
And how do you deal with the homesicking?
I think, you know, well, I'm able to talk to the family on the phone through Skype, on the computer, and in the emails. But I don't really feel it as much as Angela. She misses the kids more than I do. It's not that I don't miss them. I'm enjoying this, and I know that I will be back and seeing them not too long from now, but I don't know. It's just been, every day is so much fun here. you know.
Yes,
Every day on the trip.
anything different.
Every day is, you know, is a different day, yeah.
And how long do you think will be the return? Because you said you are going down to Patagonia.
Yes.
And then Chile, and you'll be returning.
I think we have at least another year before we get back to the States. Because we don't want to be into Patagonia or the tip of South America until December, because it's winter and we don't want to be in a bunch of snow.
Yes.
So we're planning, when we leave here in August, September, cruising the coast of here, Brazil, into Uruguay, and then into Buenos Aires, and then head down. So I think sometime in December, we hope to be in the tip Tierra del Fuego, and then the return again in Chile. We'd like to take a trip to Easter Island, and then when we get to Peru, we'd like to go to Lake Titicaca and the Machu Picchu. And then in Ecuador, we would like to go to the Galapagos Islands, and then from Ecuador back into Colombia, and then we'll just be retracing part of our trip through the Central America.
Do you think about writing a book about all this?
Angela is the one, she's writing right now. She's doing a blog, and we've got a lot of our information from other books that have been published, but Angela wants to write a book about our trip and what we can give to other people that would like to make this journey.
Because you can do a diary, né? And have main things that are happening.
Yes.
And all the photographs.
The photographs, we have put photographs on online for people to look at right now. So we have a blog spot that Angela's been doing, and somebody can go to our blog spot and then they can look up our pictures of that we've taken so far of the Amazon, of Angel Falls, and some of Brazil. But
if you would come back sometime, if you would think, let's come back to, which would be the place you choose?
I think Angela and I both really find Piriubi a beautiful place, and
I feel so proud of it.
I'm telling you, we love the small town. It's a nice little town, a beautiful coast. It's close to Sao Paulo if we need to go there, or to Santos, because that's where we have to go to get propane for our motorhome. And it just is a very nice community, and I really like it here a lot.
Thank you very much. Well, if you want to leave a message to our viewers.
I just say that everybody that I've met here in Brazil are so wonderful, and throughout our trip, the people that have come by to help us or to say hi to us on the beach when we were just sitting by, and we love talking and sharing what we do, and if we can help anybody in any way, we would like to do that too.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Bom, eu conversei aqui com o Thomas Conry, que é o marido da Angela Conry, com quem eu conversei na semana passada. Eles têm um site, www.drivingthepanamerican.blogspot.com. O Chris vai imitando o nosso amigo Sérgio Bianco. Por aí. Não esqueça, por favor. Não esqueça, por favor. E você que assistiu a nossa conversa, se estiver interessado em saber mais alguma coisa sobre essa interessante viagem, essa aventura mesmo da Angela e do Tom, vocês podem entrar em contato através desse site. Estaremos de volta na próxima sexta-feira com mais um QI Cultural, não esquecendo do nosso patrocinador B-Ice, que vai oferecer agora ao Tom uma daquelas taças de sorvete que só o Marcos da B-Ice sabe fazer. Mas não é só o sorvete que tem lá, não. Tem um chocolate, gente, que você não vai tomar em nenhum outro lugar a não ser no Ice. Portanto, passe por lá. Esquina da Avenida São João com a Rua dos Pescadores. Tem bolos deliciosos. É uma loucura. Não deixe de passar por lá. Até a próxima sexta. Bye, bye.